Let's start on Bitcoin, because we hit 126, all-time high in October. We're down about now 22% since then, John. Explain this move to us. What's going on here, and what do you think comes next, near intermediate term?
Well, in terms of short-term price movement, not to be trite, but more sellers than buyers, right? That's ultimately what happens. So I try not to, we as an exchange care about price discovery and efficient price discovery and value transfer, and not so much causality behind short-term movements. But I'll remind everyone that this is an asset that is up an extraordinary amount over the duration of its lifetime. Year on year, we're still looking at, I haven't done the numbers yet, but probably looking at 35, 40% year-on-year return, even with the drawdown. The ability for an asset that has as much upside as Bitcoin to periodically have these types of price corrections or mean reversions, however you want to phrase it, it shouldn't be surprising. So throughout I think I've not been on your show, but all the shows I've been on during the bull run, the advice is the same. Dollar cost averaging into volatile assets is smart. If you believe in the thesis, buying at a discount in a consistent, sober, thoughtful way also seems smart.
Mark, let me get your thoughts. Same question about these moves we're seeing. Yeah, I should mention, so Bitcoin down 22% from that all-time. I'm just saying Ethereum's down 35%. Solana's been cut in half. What do you think?
Well, I think one of the things that's been overlooked is the fact that back on October 10th, we had what was effectively a cataclysmic event for the crypto market that the mainstream may not have picked up on. But we had a flash crash. And in that crash, we saw about a quarter of the crypto market makers go out of business, which, if you think about that, translate that to traditional finance, that's all you would hear about in the news. But as a result of that, we are seeing some healing that's going on with regard to the liquidity in the market. And at the same time, one of the big catalysts for crypto is the potential signing into law of the Clarity Act, which would create a regulatory framework for crypto. Well, the U.S. Senate was not going to be taking that up when there was a government shutdown going on. So you had a confluence of the larger macro with a crypto-specific event, and here we are, quite a bit lower than where we had been a month ago.
Dan, here's a simpler question, but honestly, it's a question I will get from friends and family. They'll say, what is Bitcoin? What is its point and purpose? One school of thought, I've had guests on the show who say, don't overthink this. It's digital gold. It's just a hedge against fiscal irresponsibility here and abroad. Is that how you see it?
Robinhood is kind of the, I like two names very much, and there's another name that I want to mention here as well. So Robinhood is kind of your quintessential killer app, right? I know the price has been up a lot, but I think you just had Vlad on TV here for a long interview before that. They're just a machine. They're going after a $600 billion plus TAM. Today, they're less than 0.5% of that TAM, and they're going to 10x the company. So that means this could be like a $30 billion revenue company in a few years, not that far long. I also love Affirm. Why do you love Affirm? We had Max on as well. How could you not love Affirm? I love my wife, and I love Affirm as well. Don't get me wrong. My wife and my kids, and then Affirm, in that order. But why is Affirm a buy here? Strong buy. Because the TAM, the total addressable market for Affirm, is literally unlimited. What I mean by unlimited, it's basically all of credit, and they're offering a way for young people, and not necessarily poor people, but young people that don't like credit cards, don't like to revolve credit, to basically take a loan, like pay as you go, right? And I do also want to mention eToro, which we feel like is an inflection point, right? The moat of eToro is much stronger. The valuation is a fraction of what Robinhood is. And you saw in this quarter that they reported, it's starting to gain momentum. So I think that's kind of the value play in the, let's call it like high valuation stocks.
We just had the 17th anniversary of the release of the Bitcoin white paper. Bitcoin is not even an adult yet. It's still a teenager. We act like we're in this next stage of institutional adoption when really, we're in a very nascent period. With regard to AI, yes, there were folks who were talking about AI a few years ago, but not like now. Not with the kind of intensity that we've been seeing. That's going to be going into directions that we cannot foresee at this point. So it really is important to be flexible, to follow the trends, and to be open-minded, and to find those common denominators, such as energy.
As one guest put it to me today, he thinks AI, we're not even in the early innings, we're still in the batting cage. There you go. Fellas, great discussion. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.